Okay, so today we're going to be working on this 1967 Sears rototiller. I already took the air cleaner off because I had to see if I had the right one with me, which I do, which is a good thing. So, this machine I was told runs. It has gas in it, but I can't get it to start. And actually, now that I know that it's in choke, let me hop up on here and fire it up. So, So we're going to shoot a little carb cleaner down her throat. I have a feeling this thing has points. Which I don't know if I'm prepared to work with right now. So we'll I think what we're going to end up doing is taking the whole top cover off, because I want to see whether or not it has points or not. And if I remember later on today, when I'm editing this, I'll try to put a picture up of what points in a condenser look like. Because if it has that, I'm going to need to get some sandpaper or file, which isn't a big deal, but I just was not ready for that. But this thing obviously does not have spark. And if it doesn't have spark, there's no sense in going any further with the carburetor, because you know, it's not going to run. Plus, carburetor could be absolutely fine. He said it last ran about a year ago. But we're in a very humid area, so you know, it is possible that the points are corroded. Plus, it smells like a garage, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm pretty sure I see points. Yeah. I gotta see if I have the tools required at this point to damn, what size is that? Let's see if I got the tools required to pop this flywheel off. Alright, so that is a 1/4 inch. I thought this would have been I would have thought that would have been a 1/4 inch. I guess not. Oh. Might help to so this is actually the rewind mechanism, which is actually in really good shape on this. Oh shoot, I don't have the tool to get this off. I don't have a big enough pair of pliers with me. So we might actually be stuck. Grab. You know, I am not doing well with holding on to tools today. The engine feels nice and free. And right now, man, I got the sun bearing down on my back like crazy. So if I can get this off of here, which I might be able to do with a rubber mallet, because I gotta find, let me see if I have what I can do, or if I have what I need to get this thing off of here. Give me one more minute. Okay, so I was able to get the rewind off by shoving a big bar in here and a pair of channel locks. But now I need to get this flywheel off, which, there we go. Popped right off. Flywheel key is in good shape. That's always a good sign. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera so that I can show you exactly what we're working with here. Okay, so I'm jumping back down off the trailer. And we have, let me just grab a regular flathead. So we have this little cap here. Underneath this cap is something called points and a condenser. And I can't wait to show you guys this. Like, this is a very, very old school thing. And they actually don't look bad. But there is a contact point here, which is what usually goes bad. Because this rod, I don't know how much you can see, but you got a little spring in there. A lot of times what happens, I mean, it's possible that this coil could be bad. It's also possible that the spark plug's shot. But I'm not hearing. Let me grab another spark plug. Sorry, I had to grab a drink of water while I'm over here. Probably gonna have to edit out a lot of crap like that. Rather than wasting the effort pulling this spark plug out, what we'll do is we will sit this spark plug on a piece of metal. There is nothing happening. So I don't know. Does this have a shut-off somewhere? Like, it's possible. I see a wire coming down and out. That's sorry, this is, points is not my area of expertise, but I do know how it works. But I don't know 100% how it works. So unless this condenser is bad, this should 100% be sparking, but I don't. Alright, so I see what you can see now. Because there's a point. Huh. Well, you know what? It wouldn't do anything because the magneto is not going to fire without the magnets on the flywheel. What am I thinking? Dude, I just like completely went full
You big dummy.
thing you're not supposed to go. So we'll put that back together. What sucks about this is we have to put this all the way back together before we know if this works again. That's the only thing that does suck about this. And like I'm so used to electronic ignition at this point, like I don't even think about it. So then we got to drop the flywheel key in. So what this little key here does, I'll widen this out a little bit, is it rides in the gap on the flywheel and the crankshaft. And what that does is if you have an instance where I guess I'm going to be teaching you how these work. If you have an instance where something stops, where you hit something, like say a rock in the yard or something. I guess I'll don't. Oh boy, that's got to get cleaned. If you hit something like a rock in the yard with a lawnmower, that will shear, protecting the rest of the engine. So yeah, now you got to take the engine apart, put a new shear key in, but now you don't need a new engine. Alright, so that basically just has those balls in it. Balls, I know some of you are probably laughing. And there's like a little gear on that. It's weird how one of these looks almost like a brand new one. Just sucks. I gotta put all this back together, find out if any of this works. And I am definitely getting a suntan, possibly even a light burn, because the sun is moving, beating right down on me right now. Then that little gear, or that little square at the top, gets steps that in. I do want to check the oil on this too, because I have not done that yet. I'm going caveman style with hand tools and points and condensers. So Yeah, so we're just going to leave the throttle manual for now. Alright, and then I will come up there. And we will put some flammables in it. Yeah, so we still have no spark. I'm going to have to fight with this thing some more, but I'm going to go take care of some other business first. Okay, so one great thing about the lawnmower repair shop, or lawnmower parts store I go to, is these guys are geniuses. They've been doing this longer than I have been alive. And their suggestion with this one, rather than messing with the points, I already took the bolts out, is to just eliminate them. What do you mean by eliminate them? What we're going to do is just put a regular electronic ignition. Oh my god, this has been sitting out here in the sun for probably close to an hour, and it hurts. So what we're going to do is just put a regular electronic ignition coil in this. We're going to eliminate the points and condenser, and I don't know where that's going. Is that the wire? Alright, so he said literally just cut it off. Alright, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at here, if I can be completely honest. It's been a long time, but I believe that all I need is that ground wire, which I will put onto that. I need to go get a connector for that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so it took me a couple minutes of staring at this. Like I said, this has been 20 plus years since I've worked on a points machine. So these two ground wires were hooked together underneath of here and hooked to the condenser, which I'm actually just going to leave in there because it doesn't hurt anything. And if for some reason somebody wanted to go back to points, they could very easily, you know, just reinstall that. And yeah, so then what we're going to do next is take this ground wire, which goes to this post right here, which is actually on the throttle, and we are going to like I said, we're just going to cover these up. Oh, I'm missing one of the screws. Where did I? Oh, wait. Huh? I literally just had 3 there, now I only have 2. So that's weird. And like I said, I want to leave this in a state where if somebody ever wanted to put it back to a points and condenser system, they can. So let me grab my little magnet and see if I can find this other screw that I dropped, because like I said, I want to leave this as clean of a install as I can. So give me 1 second. I think it says recorded. I can't see. So yeah, it actually fell right down here. It was actually right here, so. Now what I need to make sure of is that this connector will fit tightly on here, and it will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and strip a little bit of this wire. Oh, that's a solid core wire too. So I hope this connector will actually work. And then we're going to pinch it down as best as we can. I mean, it really has to be tight. Now on this new ignition coil, you may or may not be able to see the words this side out. So that means that this is the side that's going to go, well, out. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is, before I put that on, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the flywheel and turn the engine over so I can actually see the keyway, which unfortunately lines right up with the magnet and the coil, which can be a bit of a pain. Oh, man. There we go. Keyway's back in. Now, in case some of you didn't already type this in the comments box, yes, I did forget that washer last time, but I did not forget it this time. But now, if you did already make that comment, sorry to make it wasted, because I put it back in this time. This really is a female dog to do with these pliers. I had a special tool for this like 20 years ago that I don't have anymore. So now, phew, tell you something, it's getting warm out. So on this coil, there's a little doohickey that lines up with this little heat spreader. Well, it's like a cooling fin. So we don't need to go all the way with it. So these are the 5/16 ones. Need to make sure there's a good air gap. Anybody see what I did with the other coil bolt? Don't everybody speak up at once. Oh, man. I have a feeling I'm going to have a little bit of sunburn on the back of my head. Kind of can't run it without it. Oh, man. Give me a minute to find this. I'll be right back. Oh my God, it was literally right in front of me. As my grandmother would have said, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. Like, the camera wasn't even turned off for like 10 seconds. And yes, plug the coil back onto the spark plug. We'll use that, shut it down. Alright, let's try to figure some things out here. So we need to put that back on. Where'd that little shield go? Oh, there it is. So I took this little shield off, thinking that I needed to, but I didn't. So I was going to try to pull the carburetor off. This one's going to be the hard one. Luckily this bolt has a washer on it that'll enable me to hold it in place, or I'll just use a 1/4-inch socket. This one holds a lot better. Alright, so that was much easier. Now what we want to see is whether or not we have spark now. Alright, so now we can put our panel, our cover on. Magnet was the magnet was causing me to get stuck. So I have no idea how much of this I'm going to edit out, because, you know, I'm not putting these in perfectly tight right now because we are testing it. Still, I'm just getting it enough to Alright, so if I recall correctly, I think one of the other problems we're having is this engine will not run unless that hole in the bottom is covered. So we're going to try that too. So, get up here. So we're going to go ahead, move this to the side. Alright, so the tines work. This thing runs like a top, even on the gas that was in it. So I got to put that cable back on. I'm going to put a new air filter in it. I'm going to let it run for a little bit and then change the oil. And I might even throw a new spark plug in it just because. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.